to provide financing.
Reducing cost of crude oil production.
Sustainable development and prosperity, the continent must be supported to play a fundamental role in the implementation of the Paris Agreement on climate change through improved access to global climate financing. At a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, Dr. Adeshina said African Development Bank is encouraged by the leadership being provided by the Nigerian leader, as well as his thoughts on what can be done, which he said is in sync with the priorities of the bank.
Africa is estimated to have to, need about anything between $14 and $17 billion a year between now and 2050 to adapt to that climate change. And so I exchanged some ideas and thoughts with Mr. President about how it's very important to have an insurance mechanism in Africa that will insure African countries against this catastrophic risk. As you know, the bank has supported Nigeria, quite strongly. As I've said many times, Nigeria is too big to fail. We'll continue to provide that support. So Mr. President's leadership on that is crucial.
Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina said the African Development Bank is also soliciting the support of President Muhammadu Buhari in addressing the high rate of malnutrition in Africa.
I did ask for Mr. President's support in leading an effort to end the issue of malnutrition. Malnutrition costs Africa today roughly $25 billion a year. And sometimes because when you see a child that is not as tall as they should be for their age, we just kind of overlook that. But in fact, stunted children today will lead to stunted economies tomorrow. And so Mr. President is quite concerned about that, for some of the areas in the northeast and northwest of Nigeria. And so we discussed about that, which is, I think, his leadership is going to be very important.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja after the 4-day visit to Marrakesh, Morocco. He was received on arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by the Minister of the FCT, Muhammad Musa Bello, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, and other senior government officials.
It was a good experience in Marrakesh. I saw the passion of Mr. President and all the signatories to the Paris Agreement on climate change, especially the devastating effect on Nigeria.
The president was accompanied on the visit by the governors of Plateau and Jigawa states, as well as some ministers. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has reiterated his administration
to support from development partners, just as the 2017 budget will be a green budget to reflect Nigeria's efforts to realizing the nationally determined contributions. Nigeria also presented highlights of work on renewable energy in the country.
The policies contained in our Vision 30-30-30 aim to increase on-grid power capacity from the current level of about 5 gigawatts to 30 gigawatts by 2030. Our expectation is at least 30% of this capacity will come from renewable energy.
The issuance of green bonds is seen as an innovative means and alternative way of raising climate finance both locally and internationally. Aisha Bello Mustafa, NTA News.
The National Economic Council, NEC, has endorsed a new funding regime for the oil and gas industry. It eliminates the cash core regime, which has dragged the industry in about a decade, stalling growth. State House correspondent Jidu Nifade reports that this was at the Council's meeting this Thursday.
The alternative funding stream had been approved earlier this week at the Federal Executive Council meeting. It was also presented to the National Economic Council at this meeting. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachuku, explains further on the decision.
What we've been able to put together has enabled us to shave about 1.7 billion savings for the federal government on the 6.8 that was previously owed. So we're going to be owing only 5.1 as opposed to 6.8. Now the 5.1, however, will be paid over a period of 5 years interest-free. And the
Logical Fund, 2 billion naira was said to have been paid to states by last administration, and an investigation is to be made as some of the states complained of not having equal share of the money and some not having at all. In the State House, Jude Onifade, NTA News.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, says work has commenced on a scheme to improve the quality of diesel in the Nigerian market for efficient and optimal performance of diesel-powered engines. Group Managing Director NNPC Dr. Mekanti Baru said this during an official tour of some research and development facilities in Port Harcourt, while describing research and development as vital tools for advancement in any organization desirous of reinventing itself in the ever-competitive global market. Dr. Baru urged the management and staff of the division to support him in the renewed vision to transform research and development. In a statement by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, NNPC, Undu Ogumadu, the GMD reinforced Dr. Baru's commitment to the growth of Research and Development Division. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says plans are underway to take the Change Begins With Me campaign to the states. The minister stated this while addressing the Governors Forum, where he presented the Change Begins With Me campaign messages. Lai Mohammed said the campaign, which is not tied to any political party or religion, is designed to help change perception from negative to positive. The minister says as state governors, they have the capacity to assist in ensuring that the campaign achieves the desired impact. He, however, solicits for free airtime on the various state radio and television stations for the jingles to be aired. Former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga, has urged Africans to shelve their differences and confront challenges to achieve the vision for a better continent. It was at the 5th ZIGS annual lecture series at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. Joy Iliogu has details.
Delivering a paper titled The Crisis of Nation-States in Africa, the Prime Minister
details of this and other proceedings at Thursday's plenary.
There was slight setback as the plenary rejected 2 names on the hitherto 7-man governing board of the Nigerian Communication Commission.
The committee hereby resolved not to recommend the remaining 2 nominees, namely Mr. Aliyu Said Abubakar and Isa Ezekiel Benjamin, for confirmation by the Senate.
Names for the INEC confirmation went without a hitch. Also confirmed by the Senate are Justice Dauda Bagi and Justice Paul Adamu Galije as 2 justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria.
On behalf of the Senate, congratulate the 2 new Supreme Court justices who also are coming to join the Supreme Court at a very crucial time.
Read for the 3rd time and passed was the report of the Committee on Air Force on the Institute of Technology Bill.
The bill seeks to establish the Air Force Institute of Technology, Kaduna, Nigeria, for the following purpose. From the nucleus of a world-class center of learning and research in the aerospace technology in Nigeria.
Joint Committees on Poverty Alleviation and National Planning on National Poverty Eradication Commission Bill was also considered.
This bill, in the considered opinion of the Joint Committee members, seeks to enact a law that will strengthen the execution of the poverty eradication programs in Nigeria.
We're doing the right thing at this right time in establishing such a commission to address these areas so that we can quickly and hastily fight poverty in all parts of our country.
From the National Assembly, Waziri Zayan, NTA News.
The leadership of the House of Representatives is to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari over the state of insecurity in Nigeria. The House also resolved to convene a national dialogue on security lapses. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo has more.
The resolution to hold a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari on the state of insecurity in Nigeria followed the motion moved by Representative Simon Arabo from Kaduna State on the urgent need for the federal government to investigate the killing of 43 persons in southern Kaduna State on the 13th and 14th of November by unknown persons.
And the last resolution is to urge Kaduna State, a management agency, and NEMA to provide relief materials to the victims in the affected villages.
Soldiers that are posted in this area, whenever there's an attack, you discover that they will be away, as rightly said. On the 10th of October,
including Representative Abdul Samad Dasuki, who is the chairman House of Representatives Committee on Navy. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
To effectively tackle contemporary security challenges confronting Nigeria, The private sector needs to urgently complement government's efforts in supporting indigenous automobile firms. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai said this while taking delivery of 3 customized military vans produced by an indigenous firm. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports from Maiduguri.
The armed forces is addressing insurgency in the northeast, clashes among farmers and herdsmen in north central, while in the southeast, militancy and kidnapping are among the challenges confronting the military. To effectively address these criminal elements, the forces requires constant supply of improved war arsenal. Considering the high cost of these equipment and the scarce resources of the government, the army chief called for private sector support.
This is the type of support that we need for our troops to operate more efficiently. And with this initiative, it will definitely reduce our dependence on foreign items and bring about more employment and indeed ability for us to look more inward.
For these indigenous automobile producer, this fleet of customized van with reinforced shock absorbers and full metallic body to the army is part of its social responsibility.
All the reinforcement on the vehicle to move in this type of terrain. Yeah, this type of terrain is very dangerous, and this is what they need. That's why I design it and get it for them to test.
From Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Presidential Committee for the Northeast Initiative is to partner African Development Bank for Sustainable Peace and Development of the region. This came to the fore at a meeting in Abuja between the two organizations to fine-tune modalities for the collaboration. Joseph Orok reports.
With the return of relative peace and stability in the region, rehabilitation, rebuilding, and provision of basic amenities for the people is now the challenge. However, working with the presidential blueprints designed to address the humanitarian needs, security, health, education, and economic developments of the area points to a desired direction. While the African Development Bank has indicated its readiness to assist, the Presidential Committee for the Northeast says the gesture will go a long way to actualize the concrete arrangements made by the government.
Yes, we are finalizing our program, and this program will be presented to our board at the end of December, and hopefully at the end of the year we'll launch, at the first quarter next year, we'll launch all these activities.
What we have done today is to interface with the African Development Bank to understand the nature of the facilities they are offering to the states, and also be able to help guide, coordinate those monies into the projects that the states have sequenced and prioritized as their priorities.
African Development Bank is proposing $150 million assistance for the region after concluding internal protocol. Joseph Orok, NTA News.
For me, it's like one of those titans of Nigerian nation has passed on. I think the lesson we should take away from the passing of this Sultan is that whatever we do in life, we must remain, consistent. We must be loyal, and no matter what befalls us in life, our faith in Almighty Allah must never waver.
On hand to pay condolence to the family, among other distinguished Nigerians, are a delegation from the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Akiolu, the late Sultan, who died at the age of 93. On Monday, November 14th, was buried on Tuesday. He was installed as 18th Sultan of Sokoto by General Ibrahim Babangida in 1988. In Kaduna, Benny Adams, NTA News.
A reminder that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Three-pronged approach to curb child mortality and eyes on road conditions. This and more when we return. Stay with us.
This is a happy moment for me and for all Nigerians.
Amina Ali Nkeke, the first Chibok school girl to be rescued in the renewed onslaught against the Boko Haram insurgency.
With our most extensive national optic fiber network linked seamlessly to Glo One submarine cable, it is data speed and capacity beyond imagination. 4G will accelerate Nigeria's progress into the Super League, and everyone will see their lives change beyond recognition. The wait is over. Welcome to 4G LTE from Glo. Welcome to the new speed of life.
For an easy way to check your bank account and make payments wherever you are in the world, use EcoBank Internet Banking or sign up online today at ecobank.com. Move on up with EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Madam, this is you carry a reverse joke. So because you don't dash you too much bonus, now you want to call finish me, eh? Madam, smell is
You don't add photography during your work?
Yes, now. I said, this Smart Connect, don't skip up with free WhatsApp. I will dash me. Now means if I can't skip up.
So you mean say this one too, don't join the overjara?
Yes, now. They don't also add bonus to call family and friends. So as I talk to you now, I don't add you. I add Madam. Then, I put small Madam.
Buy an Airtel SIM, recharge and enjoy over Jara bonus on Smart Connect.
I don't have a family and friend. I don't become family.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's truck month at Ford, and we've got a Ranger just for you, Vincent. Here's the Workhorse 2.5 petrol single cab with free Ford Protect, a 4-year, 120,000-kilometer service plan. Or the 2.5 petrol-based double cab with 800mm water wading capability, available in manual transmission and with free Ford Protect. So while stocks last, visit Coscharis Motors today. Because, wait for it, thanks Vincent, we've got a tough Ford Ranger just for you.
The Future Assured project and its components Get Involved, initiated by the wife of the President, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, is not relenting in championing the cause of Nigerian women and children. Its provision of free medical screening, educational support, and the fight against malnutrition, especially in the Northeast, has indeed informed international recognition, partnerships and awards.
We are very grateful and appreciative for your wonderful gesture you have accorded to us.
With Future Assured, Nigerian women and children are assured of a bright future.
Future is assured when we join hands to promote the health of our women and children. Get involved.
Get involved and support the Future Assured initiative. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
In conformity with the change agenda of the federal government of Nigeria, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, guarantees a people-friendly and accountable police. Do you have any complaints about any policing activity or your contact with a police officer in any part of Nigeria? Have you been asked to give a bribe? Have you been requested to pay money for bail? You have the right to be heard.
Contact the Complaint Response Unit, CRU, now on telephone numbers 0805 700 0001, 0805 700 0002, SMS only to 0805 700 0003, WhatsApp 0805 700 0003, BBM PIN 58A2B5DE, Twitter at Police NG.
Coordinator Mohamed Labo reminds ASU that President Muhammadu Buhari is a man of integrity and has promised not to renege on agreements entered into by previous administrations. It noted that as at 2009, when the agreement with ASU was signed, oil sold at close to $100 per barrel against a situation where it hovers between.
Today is less than $40. So any consideration to try to provide solution must be centered on how to have quality leadership at all strata of government.
In another development, the workshop to validate the draft National Occupational Safety and Health Profile has been held. Its outcome is to stand as a reference document for the implementation of occupational safety and health programs in Nigeria. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
To fast-track development and reduce corruption in Nigeria, governments at all levels must synergize with citizens based on change of attitude, anchored on transparency and good.
Also inspected by the committee.
Despite the fact that the numbers of complaints are many, but the agency has started gradually handling the issues, and by God's grace, with working together with the committee, definitely will reach the promised land.
Well, the ones we have computed, we intend to pay before the end of the financial year. Those that don't have complete documentation will have to come back with the complete documentation, because we must get the right information to put it into our database. The 33% arrears, we're planning on paying the police to make up for 1 year before the end of the financial year as well.
It resolved in collaboration with PTAD to jointly visit all the verification centers in the Northeast before the end of the year. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Minister of Health has launched a 3-policy document expected to curb child mortality as a result of preterm births and pneumonia complication among under 5 children in Nigeria. Health correspondent Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju reports that it is to mark 2016 World Prematurity Day alongside commemoration of 2016 Pneumonia Day in Abuja.
Prematurity or preterm birth is the birth of a baby less than 37 weeks after the mother's last monthly support to parents of preterm babies. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
And as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Crashes, developing hospital trauma care systems, provision of air. Kano reports that the governor inspected 3 different road projects in the state capital.
The road construction was among the first contracts awarded by MA-led administration in March this year, but almost 9 months later, the work has not reached any appreciable level. During the unscheduled visit to the site of the project by the governor, no official or representative of the Kalu construction company that are handling the work on the site.
Better won the contract.
On palliative measure to make the road more travel, especially this busy festive period.
So what I'm trying to do is to do palliative on this 9-kilometer stretch of road, hoping that thereafter the federal government will be able to properly award.
We have to patch all the major potholes on this road so as to make it motorable. All cars, all buses can move up and down now without no delay and no disturb.
Another strategic road is Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, being an alternative route out of Lagos to Ogun and Oyo states. FEMA direct labor gangs have also been busy on critical sections of this busy road.
All those locations that are black spots will be attended to, and by God's grace, we're going to have a 0 potholes on all our federal roads.
In the communication chain and make sure that you're making your money work.
Other executives of the media fused to Aegis Network also use the opportunity to throw more light on the benefits and how other media advertising agencies and business organizations can key into consumer connection system.
Every piece of research that's out there tells us one piece of the puzzle. CCS tells us everything we need to know. It tells us what consumers are thinking, at what time of the day, how they are feeling, but most importantly, it tells us how they make decisions.
Through partnering with the network, we've got have availability of all the tools that allow you to do this communications planning. You'll be able to cross-tab and deep dive into not only just how consumers are using media from a reach point of view, but also from a reaction point of view.
Management of the company says the consumer connection system is operational in South Africa, Nigeria and Ghana, as Kenya is expected to join next year. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News from the Lagos Network Center. We take a break now to bring you some messages. The news continues in a moment. Please stay with us.
See, come this gizzard. Who did that liver? Yes, I'll go put Oga. This is who you have plenty.
Such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, wishes to invite accountants, planning officers and auditors, treasurers, stock verifiers, bursars, budget officers, accounting technicians, top administrative officers, finance officers to a 5-day workshop on the International Public Sector Accounting Standards. Date Monday 21st to Friday 25th November 2016. Venue ASCON Complex, Topo Badagry. Fee 100,000 naira only per participant, excluding lodging and feeding. Please note, arrival and registration for the workshop will be done on Sunday 20th November 2016. Account name ASCON E-Collection Account. Account number 023-0055-861019. For inquiry, contact Workshop Director G.A. Afalanya or Workshop Coordinator Mr. S.O. Bejoku, Announcer Director General.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors.
54.8% of the total transactions. The Eurozone consumer price growth accelerated slightly in October as predicted by analysts. Data from the European Union reveal that the growth is not unconnected with an increase in expensive services and slight fall in energy price. The report confirms that the inflation rate appreciated to 0.5% year-on-year from 0.4% in the preceding month. And back home, activities on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange remained bearish as the all-share index closed on a negative note, shedding 0.21% in Thursday's session. Market breadth was also negative, with 13 gainers against 25 losers. The volume traded, however, closed positive as it appreciated by 10.87%. And that's business news at this hour. The bulletin continues.
The Bank of Industry has given an assurance that every Nigerian has the opportunity to benefit from its entrepreneurial assistance schemes. Acting Managing Director of the bank, Wahid Olagunju, said this at the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, for youths in the area. Kemi Oshin reports.
Acting Managing Director of the Bank of Industries, Mr. Wahid Olagunju, who led members of the management from Ife, Kemi Oshin, NTA News.
Another break is due now for more messages.
Hello dear, you've got the first signs of a sore throat.
Yes, and I'm afraid it could be signs of a sore throat.
Don't you worry, just act immediately, but not with non-medicated throat sweet. Take an expert product, take Strepsils. Look at what it does to sore throat germs compared to a throat sweet. Strepsils not only stops the germs from multiplying, it even kills them.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, sore throat. Stop a sore throat early. Take Strepsils.
Wake up on a Mocha mattress and wake up to feeling good.
Wake up to feeling good.
And sports is next with Ayodeji Makinde.
"57 professional golfers, including 4 Cameroonians, a Senegalese and a Ghanaian, are in contention for the inaugural Nigerian Masters, which teed off Thursday morning.
Damilola. Dust days is expected to prevail over the northern part of the country with visibility of 2 to 5 kilometers, and this should last throughout the forecast period, while other areas should be in cloudy to partly cloudy condition. And as the day progresses, we expect the central states to be in hazy condition, while the high grounds of the inland cities down to the coast, localized thunderstorms is anticipated. Thank you, and please stay tuned for the temperature forecast.
And just to remind you that President Muhammadu Buhari is back from Morocco.